You are listening to Eric, Tanya, and Belky on a show that is just perfectly shameless.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Perfectly Shameless. Today we are going to be talking about self-worth. I'm here with my co-hosts,
Eric,
Belky, and we're excited because this is the one episode before the last. So we're
almost semi-finale.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about that?
I'm excited. I am surprised we made it this far.
Me too.
Genuinely surprised.
I'm surprised anyone listening.
If you're listening to this,
Perla.
thank you.
Perla, thanks. Thank you, Perla.
Thank you for just listening to our shenanigans.
And for being part of it, too.
Exactly. It's like, we came into this not knowing what we were going to be doing. We literally started this like...
a hot mess.
Yes. A full 2-hour show.
Now we're just a mess.
And now we're just a mess. It's not hot. Well, no, it's hot because it's summer, so...
Oh, that's
it's still hot.
That makes sense.
It's actually hotter than when we started.
I can't. The things I've learned throughout the podcast is if you're gonna drink during the podcast, don't take shots. Shots?
We never did shots.
We never did shots. That second episode, we were drinking liquor.
Yeah, but it wasn't shots.
Whatever,
it was
same
like,
thing.
With Sprite.
Yeah, it was just like a margarita.
And then we went classy and we did wine.
It was just like a soft margarita. And then we got the rosé, the
white
apple
wine.
cider.
Ooh, Oh wait, no, that was nasty. That was gross.
It's the same thing as one. First of all, I am not the only one. You wanted to try it too. I love how you want to jump out. I am not going to have this argument.
It was disgusting.
Not on the air, guys.
Not on the air. We get along. We're friends.
It was disgusting, y'all. Don't ever try it. It's not sponsored.
Nothing we tried.
I feel like we have learned a lot about each other.
Oh, so much. Even
like,
about people that like have been guests.
Yeah.
They have opened up so much.
That's true.
I've learned nothing new.
That's sad. That is sad. So just a quick little recap of what we have talked about and what we're going to be talking about today. We've done heartbreak and rejection. We've done change and happiness. Mm-hmm. We've done rejection. Mm-hmm. We've done... Why am I spacing?
What was the fourth one? Oh my god.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Was that with Perla?
High school.
Oh yes.
Yes, high school. Then we did... Oh my god, why am I spacing today?
The serial killers was after high school.
Was it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so... No. High school, then nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
Then we did serial killers. Then we talked about our insecurities, which was like a very depressing episode.
Yeah.
And then
but I feel like that was like the best episode.
Yes, it was, yes. And then beauty standards, which we did last week.
Oh yeah.
Which was like also one of like the top ones. Mm-hmm. And then today we are talking about self-worth. And for you guys, what do you guys think about self-worth? Like, do you guys like have good enough self-esteem where you guys are like comfortable with each other?
I don't think, I feel like for me, for example, it's not necessarily like comfortable with myself, but like at the same time I know what I'm worth as a person, you know? And it's not about what I look like. That has to do more like with my insecurities type of thing, but for me, self-worth could be, you know, knowing that I deserve something, knowing that I've worked hard for something, that I can do it. That to me is self-worth because I know.
But do you have that in you?
Yeah.
Or do you think you have to work on that? On your
I still do every single day. I think everyone does. I don't think no one is completely happy, you know? But yes, I mean, I do think that.
I sometimes see bubbly people, and I'm just like, how do you get through the day being so happy?
Yeah.
We went to Starbucks today, and she was so nice.
The
Starbucks lady, yeah. Like, so nice.
But that's always nice. I like when people are nice to me.
No, it threw me off.
Oh.
She had, like, the bubbliest voice. She was so nice. She's like, have a great day. And I was like, oh, okay.
She's a lot of Buffalo Wild Wings because people are rude.
But yes.
Self-worth.
Yes, your opinion on self-worth. For yourself.
I think self-worth is more of a journey.
But do you feel like you've been able to get to that journey yourself?
I think I'm managing. Like, do I forget what I'm worth as a person sometimes, absolutely.
Okay.
But I think that I eventually have a talk with myself where I kind of like laid down the stats basically of what I've done, and you know, like I'm very resilient when it comes to like problems, like when it comes to like obstacles in life.
Okay.
So I think that's where I realized where my real self-worth is at, and I think that I eventually earn. I don't know what I'm saying. I got lost in the way, honestly. I mean, it's difficult because, like, how do you differentiate self-worth with arrogance? And I think that's the tricky part.
No, I
feel like there's a huge line, though, between the difference. Like, arrogance is just kind of people being, like, cocky and, you know, disgusting about themselves. But, like, self-worth and your self-esteem, that's just how you feel about yourself. Like what we're going to be talking about next week is, you know, like your why did I just lose that word?
I don't know. You know, I think we are a little confused about self-worth.
Well, self-worth, the definition of self-worth is your self-esteem. So it's the same thing basically.
I don't know.
According to Google.
Oh, well, I mean,
well, Google's wrong.
It must be true. It's on the internet.
Just like when they go to the hospital and they're like, I read this on Google.
Yeah, you're dying. Elbow cancer.
Hey,
my elbow hurts.
Sensitive about that.
I mean, like, here's the thing, though. Like, for example, when, say you're going through a bad breakup.
Okay.
At that moment, you're thinking, I did something wrong. I don't know what I did, but I made
something
him
in me
or
had
her
to, yeah.
go away. Like, I was not good enough for that person.
Okay.
You know, and I don't think that sometimes necessarily comes from what you look like. It comes from
the inside,
how you really feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it somehow the self-esteem comes in hand. But at the same time, it's just like, you know, you gotta say, no, I'm worth more than this.
Yeah.
Like, this is not for me.
That's not just me.
Whatnot. Yeah. So
that doesn't define who you are.
Exactly. So I feel like that self-worth is more like like a I don't know how to explain it. Not really self-esteem, because I feel like self-esteem is more like physically sometimes.
Like how you look and how you feel about yourself?
How you feel, how other people like can tell you, hey, you're so pretty, and that boosts you up, right? Because automatically you feel like, yes, you know, oh, thank you. Like, you know, that makes me feel good. But I don't necessarily think that.
But that also feeds into your self-worth.
I don't know.
Because like people complimenting you and people telling you, you know, these nice things feed into your self-worth, and you realize how you're worth more than what you really realize that you're worth. You don't think?
I guess. I don't know. I mean
self-worth definitely has to be a balance of physical and character, I think. But I guess in a more philosophical way, does it really go based on what you give in return to the world, or how you impact the world around you? Or is it something that just because you think you're worth that? And that's what I'm saying, where job or whatever, and I think that I am worth it, but in reality I'm not that good.
Yeah, so, but I wouldn't consider that like arrogance either. That's like you feel that way about yourself. If somebody else doesn't, if somebody else doesn't, then that's just on them. Like not everybody's gonna see things the way that you see them. So like you can be totally equipped for the job, but if like the person that's giving out the job or the position doesn't feel like you are, that doesn't change the fact that you're not worth it or good enough for it.
Yeah, but see, that has to do a lot. Like you guys both said it. Like that has to do a lot more than just Like, it has to do with yourself. Like, you gotta love yourself even if nobody else loves you.
Exactly.
And not, like I said, not necessarily is like, oh, the way you look or whatever. It's like, you know, you tell yourself like, I'm this great person, and I know what I'm worth. I know that I'm a good person at the end of the day, you know?
Whether people agree with me or not.
Yeah, whether people think I'm good enough for a job or not, that's their own opinion.
Yeah.
And that's not going to stop me from keeping on going because I know I'm worth it. I don't know how long it'll take me to get there, but I know I will because I know I'm worth it.
Perfect.
But that's more like a self-love.
Yeah. Perfect example of that. It's like when we started the show. Some people had some things to say. That it wasn't great. And obviously we weren't the best, but we were working on it and we're getting there. And, you know, as each episode goes on, like, it's getting better and better.
Yeah.
But we know what we're worth. We know what we put into this. We know, you know, all the work that goes into doing this. So, like, you know, I feel like that's also part of, like, that self-worth.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Not taking into consideration what other... I mean, obviously taking into consideration what others say, but not taking it to heart.
Would you say that maybe self-worth is more of, like, of a mental state where you... Well, not necessarily... Well, yeah, I mean, if you don't feel like you're worthy of getting things, or, you know, that's what kind of, like, stops you to do the things you want to do.
Yes.
It stops you?
I feel like it has. Not always, but it has. Not having enough, you know, self-worth where I'm just like, I probably can't do this.
Yeah, or like you might say like, yeah, they're probably right. I might not.
I'm not gonna be, or even if I get it and I'm just like, I might not work out for this, so I'll rather not do it.
Okay. I like, for example, another example is like people that are going through drug problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I feel like at some point they lose all of that. They lose self-worth, because
they feel worthless.
That, and because they're hurting themselves, and they don't think that they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think that they're worth being good.
Yeah.
And I feel like Belky mentioned earlier, I feel like it's more of a mental.
It's definitely mental.
You know?
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's really hard.
So here, let me give you the actual definition of it, so that we can kind of get an idea. So self-worth is the sense of one's own value or worth as a person. Self-esteem / self-respect.
Okay.
I mean, like,
self-respect.
I think it's just so difficult for me to get into, like, tackling the whole issue or discussing it, because it's such a, I think, a little bit vague, you know.
But I feel like self-worth kind of, there's so many things that it can be, you know. So it could be like related to your work, it could be related to your personal job, to your relationships, to your family, to your morality, to who you are as a person. Your self-worth is going to determine whether you have the confidence to go out one day or not. Your self-worth is going to determine whether, you know, at a job you feel confident enough to talk to your coworkers or not. I feel like your self-worth can, you know,
make you get those promotions.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think the other thing also is, it's always easier to love someone else before you love yourself.
Oh yeah.
All the time. And I've always said that, because sometimes you put yourself in the back because you want to make sure that this other person
is taken care
of, you know? And I feel like the moment you realize that, like, what am I doing? Like, no, hell no. Mm-hmm. You know, like, this is, I'm not worth this. Like, whatever. And at this point, it's not even the other person's fault.
It's just you putting yourself in that position. Yeah.
Again, self-love.
Yeah.
It's your own mental state that tells you, no, this person is more important than you are. So you do everything for them. But at the end of the day, it's like you matter too. So you just gotta. I don't know. It's just very complicated.
No, I get it. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So where will you rate your self-worth?
Oh, Lord Jesus. Right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, a 5.
A 5? How come?
Because of what we talked about last week and the week before that. Both insecurities and the beauty standards, I feel like that eats up at me. And I feel like because I do live my life so publicly, because everything is pretty much shared online, whether people see it or not, whether, whatever it is, I do share it. So I feel like there's that much more pressure to not fail someone.
Okay.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10, I would have to say a 7. A 7 because, in a way, I feel like I'm the happiest that I've ever been.
Okay.
But
Pause for reaction.
But at the same time, I know that I still have a lot to work on.
With yourself or
with myself?
Okay.
Not with anyone else. With myself. Because I feel like in every other aspect of my life, I'm happy where I am.
Okay.
And sometimes, sometimes people can tell you, like, oh no, like, girls your age, they're doing this, they're doing that, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And good for them, happy for them. But I'm doing things on my own pace, and I've gotten where I have on my own. Mm-hmm. And I am very proud of that. You know what I mean? The fact that I was able to get out of all the bad company and all of that, and being where I am now. Not that I'm like, the top of the world, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not doing bad for myself.
But also, I don't feel like anybody ever is on top of the mountain.
No.
Everybody's always trying to reach that goal.
Right. No,
and whether you could be the rich, you could be Kim Kardashian. You're still not there.
And of course, no. I'm pretty sure they're the most unhappiest person because they live
so much.
But at the same time, like I know I have a lot to work on myself as a person, as a daughter, as a wife, as a friend. I have a way to go, for me to be perfectly 100 with myself.
What do you think that 3 extra points? What do you feel like you need to get to that 10?
To get to that 10, I feel like I have to find first of all what I want to do in life forever. That's one of my main things because. Not that I'm not saying like this is something that I will pursue because at the end of the day where we're working, I like it. I like working there and I like the medical aspect of it. And now going to the back, I actually get to do it. So I'm really happy about that. So I feel like who knows, I could go somewhere else from there. The other thing is, I feel like I need a better relationship with my family.
Okay.
To be more specific with my dad.
Okay.
That's another thing I need to work on. And I feel like if I had that relationship with my family, that's a point. Yeah. To me, at least. And then like I would wanna like work on myself as far as like working out and eating better and get healthy. Yeah.
Not even just
lose weight. To lose weight. Look, it's to be healthy. Yeah. I feel like those 3 I still need to work on.
Okay. And you think those 3 things would be like at your peak? You would feel like you're at your peak?
No, I don't think it would be ever a 10.
I mean, of course, but you feel like you would be out there like.
Yeah, I feel like I would be closer to feeling 100.
Closer to God. What about you, Becky?
I would say 8 or 9.
Oh, okay.
Girl.
And that's where I.
Can we know why?
Because I don't correlate my self-worth with my mistakes.
Okay.
I think they amplify my self-worth.
Of course.
I think everything's a learning experience. And I, as a person, I deserve the basic rights.
Yeah.
I have the pursuit of happiness. I have to have the right to, like, achieve things and grow as a person. I'm never going to be a 10. I know that for a fact. I know that if I were ever a 10, then that means that, I mean, I'm probably dead or something, you know? I don't aim to achieve perfection. I aim to like get as many life lessons as possible. Okay. And my self-worth doesn't really have to, I think I base self-worth more in what you're giving to the world or offering to the world, or the mentality that you have towards the world rather than how you physically look. Okay. You know, it's I feel like I've become more at peace with certain issues where, like, I think I do have enough worth to know that I need to be here for as much time as I'm given to, you know, get myself into situations that will, like, bring me back to, like, having the question, am I worthy of having this? Or am I worthy of, like, being around this person? And, you know, you're gonna get yourself in you're gonna most likely get yourself in situations where, you know, you kind of do forget your self-worth because you get caught up with the moment. But if you're able to sit down with yourself eventually and have a talk where you're like, this is not the life I want, and you get up and you walk away rather than continue the cycle, I think your self-worth should be at a 9 or at least an 8, because not a lot of people sit with themselves and say, I don't deserve this life, and I need to not be part of it, and easily cut off people, situations, environments, things that are making them feel like if they're anything below an 8, you know. Of course, you're not going to be ever a 10. It's just like not possible. I don't think so. I think that if you think that your self-worth is a 10, you're kind of removing the aspect of being able to grow as a person. You know? Yeah. And I don't ever want to be a 10, because if I become a 10, being would change in any way, I don't think that changes my self-worth. Because I think that behind the carcass, there's still an able mind, there's still a person that can perceive and achieve things. And I think that whether skinny, fat, beautiful, ugly, I think that as a person, I still have something to contribute. You know? And I don't think you guys should feel like you're not fucking 9s or 10s and stuff, or at least definitely not 10s, but like 9s, you know, like, because you guys are still like, you guys come and you impact people, and you give your aspects to situations, to problems that people might seek out to, and they themselves are like, well, he has a point, she has a point, you know, and you're like kind of like dropping your little seed of thoughts around the places that you go, and that if your ideas and what you have to say are worthy of someone else picking up, then that should contribute to your self-worth, because you're giving out to the world. And someone could be beautiful, and I'm not trying to be messed up or anything, but like, what are they contributing? It's not only their physical beauty that they're contributing. You have to contribute your physical beauty, your mind, your soul, your mentality, your ideas, your philosophy of life, you know, and those little things add on to it. Yes, you could start off as a beautiful person, which gives you the courage to be able to speak out your mind, to get the power of being able to say, no, I've had it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't deserve to be treated like I'm anything below an A.
Since you brought that up, it kind of also reminds me of this, and every time I hear it, it kind of pisses me off. For example, the Kardashians. I don't know why I'm using them as an example today, but I'm using them. You know when people say, you know, what do they do for a living? Like, what do they do for a living? Like, they're just there, you know? Like, it pisses me off because they have a sense of business. They have marketing. They have there's so much background work that you need to put into these things that people don't understand. It's like for us, like for example, this podcast, like there's so much behind the scenes work that you have to do in order to get this up. It's not just putting it out there and hoping for the best.
I'm not a fan.
You don't have to be a fan,
but I
you
have to
realize,
give them credit. They know how to play the game.
Exactly.
But that still does not have anything to do with self-worth.
No, but I'm saying because what you were saying right now, like
yeah, and I mean but see, I personally, my own personal view of it, I don't think they're really contributing to a greater good of the world. I think, I might be wrong. I don't know them personally, so I don't know, you know? But I don't feel like it really contributes to people wanting to be better.
Maybe not that, but it creates jobs.
This is true.
It funds people's money. It not only them, but it's like their shopping and like everything like that. Like them creating money and them creating this empire creates jobs and creates all these things for other people. Like it's all like a ripple effect that people don't give them enough credit for. And as much as I don't watch them, I don't really follow them. Like you have to admire that the business sense of it.
I mean, I don't know if they're using any third world countries to build their stuff, so that within itself is kind of contradictory. So I can't really give an opinion of that. I just think that in a very surface point of view, they have self-worth, so if you're going to take something from them, they feel like they deserve what they got, and if they do,
they asked her like, from 1 to 10, how sexy are you? And she said 10.
Of course.
But
of course.
But because other people... No, but you know what, though? The thing is,
But she kind of, people have put her as, a standard for, what's sexy and what beauty should be. And that's the problem.
I think that one of the things that I do understand, where you're coming from, Loki. But at the same time, it's I feel like it takes... Everyone's different. So, it takes sometimes a little bit of more time for someone to feel like an 8 or a 9.
Of course.
You know, in my case, from personal experience, it took me a while for me to feel a 5 even from where I was mentally.
Yeah.
So the fact that I've gotten to say I feel like a 7, to me, it's a great thing, you know, and it's taking me a little bit for me to feel, you know, I'm getting there, you know, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone's different, you know. If everyone's going through a hard time and they don't think they're worth right now, little by little they'll start building that confidence and that self-love and self-respect, and you know, and it takes a little bit, and like I said, everyone's different.
No.
I think. Sorry to let me finish your thought. I'm sorry.
No, I'm good.
She's like, I got this.
I feel like those that feel higher on the scale from self-worth, I think in part they have to help others build their self-worth.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about, I feel like some people think that self-worth is more of a competition where they have to I have to be the one with the most self-worth and no one else can have it, so I'm gonna make everybody feel like crap and build my own confidence. It's not, at least I don't see it that way. I think if I'm in a room full of people that feel like 9s and 10s, even for a split second, it is awesome seeing stand this topic anymore.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Time out. But I mean, you know, I guess maybe we kind of have to have a conversation about self-worth to get a broader idea of what self-worth is. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's still pretty vague. Like I feel like you say self-worth, and then like coming into the episode, I was like, yeah, I know what I'm going to talk about. But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, what? Like, I know what self-worth is, but I also can't really define it with words.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? Arrogance. And what's the difference between being cocky and arrogant and like having self-worth?
But you explained it yourself perfectly good though. You gave two perfectly examples, like for each. Like you said.
I know, but I'm contradicting my own self.
No, because that's self-worth. Because you said self-worth when using someone.
Or it's like if you're an 8 or a 9 or a 10,
and that person. No. What I meant was like when you say, okay, like this person is an 8 or a 9, right? And then you think this person is doing something else for somebody else. It's building somebody else's confidence, and it's helping somebody else realize how much they are worth.
Exactly.
Right? That to me is self-worth, because you yourself know that you've gone of things, and then you've gotten to a point where you feel like
okay
I was in your shoes, so I've been there, so let me tell you, like you're gonna be okay no matter what. You know what I mean? But then when you say, oh no, I need to make this person feel less so that I can feel better, that's arrogance.
Yeah.
That's not self-worth.
It's like, yeah, you can feel great about yourself, but if you're putting someone else down, like that's arrogance.
That's
arrogance.
not self-worth. That's just arrogance. That's
so when you say that it's more of a just knowing where you could how much energy to put to something, and knowing when it's a lost battle and you have to move on in a way.
No, I don't know.
It's just really difficult, you know? Because, like, okay, for example, let's say
I wish we could have callers.
Your callers, please call in, and then the phone start ringing.
Comment on our page and just let us know what you think self-worth is. That way,
we kind of get an idea of
better sense.
I feel lost right now. I kind of lost myself. I mean, I think. So, for example, you know, you're in an abusive relationship,
okay,
and you're like,
take it there.
And you're like, because it's the only example that I could think of right now. You're in, or okay.
No, you took it there already. No.
You're in an abusive relationship, and then you know that person's like always belittling you, make you feel little, whatever, you know. And they're like, you're nothing. You are not worthy of anyone loving you. Blah blah blah. Other hurtful things, you know. And then eventually you just crack and you get up and you leave. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, I'm worth more than this. I'm worth more time, more than being with a person that is just going to be negative about things. But this person came from an abusive household, and that's all they know.
The beater?
Yeah. No, I think I'm confusing it with like civic duty, and that's why for me it's really hard, because I feel like I'm a person that it's gonna try to stick in there and be like, look, these are the things that you should work on.
You're gonna stick with an abusive relationship?
No. Then I'm gonna try to help them out with their issues, and that's just me as a person. No, that's not what I'm promoting. Walk away.
You guys don't pay attention to her right now. I don't know what she's saying.
No, so
she's a little confused.
I don't know. I feel like because sometimes, like you've been saying, like that I think my self-worth is like 8 or 9. I feel like it's kind of conceited to say, or for me to say things like, I don't
think it's conceited at all.
But I feel that way.
Book it.
Because maybe my self-worth was low. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like I'm still, like, I know what my worth is, but my actions don't really connect to my worth.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like in a conflict between, like, am I really worthy of this? I feel like I am, but am I? You know?
Yeah.
For example, like at jobs, you know, when people have told me, like, dude, you rock or whatever, and then I'm like, I mean, I'm just doing my basic job duties, you know, and I'm just like,
I'm just basic.
Is it? I feel like I know that I could be very, like, good at things, and I know that I'm worthy of all, like, the rewards that come with these things, but sometimes I feel like I'm being too to me it feels like arrogance. So I think that's why I'm like, this subject, I don't understand it.
No, but here's the thing though, like you believe in yourself. That's the thing. Like, it's a difference because you believe in yourself. You're like, no, like, I know I can do this. I know I got this. I know I'm capable. I know that even though this other person doesn't think so, I know I'm worth it. I know that I'm worth the time. I know I'm worth, you know, giving the job to or whatnot. But if you're like, I got this, like, no, for sure this is mine, and then what happens? You don't get it.
And then
that's arrogance. That's
you mad talk everybody else because you're like, oh no, I should have gotten this.
That position's mine.
But then you don't get it, and then you get mad, and you like start saying things, and you're like, no, but this person isn't even this good. This person, blah blah blah. Instead of helping them out, instead of like because you're so because you're so good at it. Let's assume that you're really good at this position, but for whatever reason you didn't get it. Mm-hmm. Instead of being salty about it, and instead of being, you know, like,
but I am salty.
Instead of being, you know, like all negative about it, like be happy for the person and help them out. And instead of seeing them fail, if you're seeing that they're doing something wrong, instead of seeing them fail, help them grow as a person and help them grow into the position so that they can succeed at something that maybe just wasn't for you at the time.
Okay.
And I'll tell you guys an example afterwards because so look, this is something we posted on Perfectly Shameless, and let me know what you guys think about this.
Okay.
It says, love yourself. You have to take actions required for your happiness. You have to cut yourself loose from all the drama-filled past. You have to set high standards for relationships. You have to feed your mind and body in a healthy manner. You have to forgive yourself enough to move on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That gives a better sense. Why couldn't we read it? Why didn't you read this? At the
started with
first of all, it was on Instagram this whole week, so
I didn't post it.
They locked me out of the account, guys. I'm a diva, apparently.
What? Eric, why'd you lock her out of the account?
Excuse me?
God.
She's not allowed to post her Mariah Carey.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to post up selfies.
And then here's another one that we posted yesterday. Know your worth. Know the difference between what you're getting and what you deserve.
I'm sorry, can you reread that? Because Tanya had stepped on my chancla.
Damn. Know your worth. Know the difference between what you're getting and what you deserve.
Okay.
So those are the two things that basically give us an idea of what self-worth is.
What you're getting and what you deserve.
I think I might be there to, like, might be getting to an answer for myself, I guess.
Mine's just like
enlightenment.
This episode should just be called Belky trying to differentiate self-worth and arrogance, because I'm just like, I'm really confused. Belky is perfectly shamelessly confused.
What was this episode about again?
It was supposed to be about finding Belky's self-worth.
Like,
I believe I'm a 9, but yet I don't know what self-worth is. So maybe I'm not a 9. Maybe I'm just like a negative.
She's going to end the episode with, in conclusion, penguins make for life. Thank you very much.
I will be back next season, hopefully, if they recast me.
Creative differences.
Her self-worth.
Under new management.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so learning your...
Love yourself.
Learn to love
Learning
yourself.
to search what you deserve.
Yes.
Would that be kind of it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's more closer to it.
Okay.
We're
I'm
getting
okay
there.
with that.
We're
I'm
getting
okay
there.
with that. I think I'm becoming more like, okay, I got this.
Almost.
I understand.
The last 3 minutes.
The last 3 minutes. Well, that's good because maybe other people out there are really
Are
having my
confused.
questions too.
I'm pretty sure they're like, Belky.
Okay, please.
O sea, ¿por qué no eres una niña?
The comment section's gonna be like, someone help
O sea,
her.
get there already.
Give her some help,
Help
please.
her. Well, I mean, it is a journey, and that I did have. So, okay. Arrogance is knowing that you have to have the best of the best.
And not supporting others
And
when they're on their low.
Yeah, and self-worth is more of
Knowing
you have
you're
to
doing good.
knowing that you're not the best, but you
Not
could be the best.
Yes, but not
And
also
you
not
could-
being down in the dumps.
and not feeling like you're knowing that you can work to become a better person.
Yes.
And
wanting
you-
to help others who are not there yet.
and being so at peace with the point that you are, even if it's in the dubs, and know that you are capable.
Able.
I need a word.
Able.
Google it.
Belky is.
Belka.
I can't speak right now. My mind got discombobulated.
I think we're past that.
I'm not even drunk. Capable of achieving greatness.
Okay.
Even though you might not be in the like, even though you don't have like skills, the skill set,
Skittles?
the skill set.
Oh, I thought you said Skittles.
No,
I was like, oh, well, what does Skittles have to do with anything?
Taste the rainbow.
You guys, if you buy Skittles, you will have better self-worth.
And this is not
Sponsored.
a promo.
This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form.
But sour Skittles are really good.
Okay, so not thinking you're like top dog, but knowing that you're a person
Exactly.
and you deserve good things, and you don't deserve a person belittling you.
Exactly.
And you might not be great, but that because you're not great now doesn't mean that you never will be great.
Correct.
And knowing that you have the opportunity
To grow.
to grow and become a greater person.
Wow.
And then no self-worth is basically
One, two,
thinking that that you don't
It only took 45 minutes.
I mean, hey, there's so many questions in philosophy that are we're still looking for an answer. So in conclusion, love thyself.
So, yes, so this was this episode. It was about self-worth and us trying to, well, Belky at least, trying to figure out what it was.
It was all
How
about
to define it.
It was all
And
about
that within itself is arrogance.
She reached enlightenment. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. I feel like we don't thank you guys enough. For
Thank
those of
you
who
for
actually do listen.
listening. For those that don't know us, thank you for dealing with us because our friends are kind of stuck
Exactly.
listening to us.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But you guys listen to us because
We made them sign
I
a
don't know why
contract.
you guys listen to us, but thank you for listening to us. And next week we're going
And
to
hopefully we could grow together and
Oh,
find
God.
definitions to many other
Calm down,
topics.
Dr. Phil. Anyways,
That's
next
me.
week we are going to be talking about confidence, and that's going to be the season finale. Talking about, our confidence and what it took us to get to where we are. But yeah, any last words?
Just a preview, I do know what confidence is.
She will be ready for next episode.
Yeah, well, no, just thank you guys, and then
One more episode.
we'll try to make next episode a little bit more special because it's the last one.
Oh.
It won't
We may have
cry.
special guests.
Oh yeah,
Me.
Belky and her
my multiple personalities.
Belky, hi Belky, Belky, hi Belky. All right, you guys. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.